What's the story, guys? Welcome to the podcast. Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Tidal Plant-Powered Recovery Spray. Recover, replenish, revive. For injuries of the lower back and the neck is where I find it the best. Put it on your knees. It's a cryotherapy spray, which you'll feel instant relief. It's not a surface spray. It penetrates into the muscle. The CBD gets into it, and it affects the swelling and the inflammation, which causes your pain. Trust me, with physical therapy and this, it's a godsend. It's a number one to go to. So make sure you grab yourself some. Tidal.com. How can we forget crypto, coins, NFTs? The market has dropped a little bit, but that's how it happens in this kind of thing. It goes up, it goes down. If you want to find out a little bit more about these unbelievable Irish NFTs, then all you got to do is go to the description and their information is there. Of course, one of our brand new sponsors, which I'm really, really happy about. Manscaped. Now, the Perfect Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and oh man, let me tell you, it is a game changer. Inside this package, you'll get the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker, and more importantly, the ear and nose trimmer. Now, look, guys, I know that you clean your nose exactly the way I do. You grab a whole bunch of hairs and you tear them out. Look, those days are gone, all right? All you got to do is get this 4th generation trimmer. It's cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. If you want to grab anything from Manscaped, all you got to do is go to manscaped.com and put in the 20% off promo code Marcus D, and you get free shipping. Guys, trust me, the day of an age of 2022 is keeping your shit clean, keeping it fresh, keeping it looking nice. We don't want any Sasquatches. We don't want any tarantulas. Trim that stuff up, manscaped.com. And of course, today's episode is proudly fueled by...
In Ireland, the highest form of compliment in any pub is an insult. So I'm considered quite complimentary. Proper number 12, Irish whiskey.
The Marcus Deegan Show. What's the story, guys? Welcome to another episode of the podcast. Thanks for joining us on YouTube, or if you're listening on Spotify, iHeartRadio. Thank you very much for joining us. Today, we've got another fantastic UFC athlete on the show. Actually, I had a bit of a chat with him just before he went over to the UK. Unfortunately, I compromised the audio on the interview, so I thought to bring him into the studio. He's one of my favorites. We're both in the Hyundai Club, except mine's a 2019. I think his is a 2016. I'm not sure. I'll find out a little bit more. You may have seen him in the co-main event in UFC London, where he was chasing and flipping off his opponent, Jack Hermanson. Would you please welcome to the Marcus Deegan Show, ladies and gentlemen, we call him the Action Man, Chris Curtis.
That was actually really good.
Did you like that?
That was actually really good.
I just made it up.
Yeah, that's a very good like buffer there. I like.
Oh, you like that? Bruce Buffer.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah.
Well, I was trying to Snuffy farted just as we
tried not to breathe. Yeah.
So I was trying not to breathe in my dog's fart. Snuffy, have a look on the TV up here so everyone can see where you are. Anyway, we brought Snuffy in.
Look at the shame. I did it.
Yeah, we thought we'd bring Snuffy in from My Chemical Romance to say hello to everyone in the podcast today, guys. Thanks for joining us again. How you doing, man?
It's good. It's like wafting over now. Like, geez, Snuffy. It's like wafting. Wow, like, bro. Like, what are you...
Snuff, I told you, you can come to the podcast, but rule number one is there's none of those deadly dog farts.
He knows exactly what he did. His head's down. Like, yeah, I did it.
You're a dog guy, right?
Yeah, I got dogs and cats both. But the fun thing is, I think cats have worse farts than dogs because it's just like. It's way more terrible. Dogs is like in your face.
Yeah, dogs is like your dad's fart, where a cat fart's kind of like
it's like baby shit. Honestly.
I have a 17-year-old cat, so he farts a lot.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, it stinks up on you badly. You're like, all right, like what died here? Yeah.
You're looking solid right now, bro. What are you weighing?
202 right now, so I'm trying to get up to about 205. So we've been lifting a lot and
weights.
Yeah,
you look it.
We've been lifting a whole lot. It's because I'm like one of the smallest guys at 85.
Yeah.
Because I came up from welterweight. So all right, well, if we're gonna be here, we gotta get big. So I've just been lifting a crap ton.
So is your idea to get as big as you can and then trim down back to 185, or you want to stay at 185?
I'm fighting at 85, walking around at like 95. The entire time. So my entire UFC stint, I haven't really gone over in 195 yet. So.
Is that easy for you to do though?
Yeah, I eat a lot. I eat and live normally weighing 195. Like it's just what I weigh now. Like occasionally I'll get 97, I very rarely see 200 pounds before now. So we've like, okay, we got to get a little bit bigger because like everybody, you look at fucking Paulo Costa's like two of me.
Dude, you know what? Paulo Costa and Luke Rockhold look like two of the Chippendales up on there.
Yeah,
I'm just like, shredded, man. Like, I mean, real tight through the abs. And you see Luke Rockhold's just, his chest is just built like a brick. I mean, those guys look great.
I did the PI a while ago and I ran into Paulo Costa after his last fight. And I was like, oh, why are you so big? Like, first I met him in person.
Is he tall?
He's tall and he's just a large dude. I'm like, okay, like you're a large ass human being. I'm like, all right, I gotta get a little bit bigger if I'm gonna be hanging out here.
Is it intimidating when you're fighting a huge guy that's bigger than you, or does size never matter?
So you don't know. That's people who say size doesn't matter is a lie. Because like
only guys with small dicks say size doesn't matter.
Right, bro, right. So like my entire career at 70, I'm like, I'm always gonna be shorter. I'm only 5'10", but I've always been like a fairly like stocky guy. And I remember fighting Phil Hawes. Like, and I've always been like the scary black guy in my head. Fought Phil Hawes, and that dude was so big. And I was like, he's so big, and he's like midnight black. I'm like, you're the scary black man here. I was like, holy shit. Like, that dude was huge. I remember at weigh-ins, I'm like, he's not that big. Then come fight day, I was like, I may have been.
Yeah, man, yeah.
It's scary when a guy rehydrates and gets taller somehow. I'm like, bro, I may have made a mistake.
I mean, you've had a pretty impressive career. You've had 29 wins, 9 losses now. You're on an 8-fight winning streak in the UFC before you went over to London. Now, I know. So I've got to get into that because a couple of fans asked me to ask you about it. You've got to be a sportsman in this business, right? Or do you? It's different with the UFC. You can flip someone off and then still be cool afterwards. That all obviously came out of frustration, right? Yeah.
So here's the thing: I've had so much flack over it. And I'm like, I try to be cool about it now. I don't even care anymore. At the end of the day, I tell people this: a lot of you, can I cuss on this show?
Absolutely.
Okay. A lot of you motherfuckers get mad when your Starbucks order is wrong.
Yep.
I've seen you motherfuckers flip out in public when the fun gets your fucking coffee wrong. All right, like guys, imagine training your entire life for a job position, and then like your interview comes up on short notice, so you go out there and shit doesn't go the right way, and you lose the job out to a guy you should have his job. Like you're gonna be fucking upset. Like this is like a lifelong goal of mine, and I came up short in a situation to where I'm like, this shouldn't have happened this way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was fucking upset. Like people are like, oh, and I love fans, but there's a lot of fans in this sport that are really weird because I think a lot of you motherfuckers did karate when you were like 10 years old, and you never got over that thing to where we're like, oh, honor, discipline, respect. Like, no, I'm not that guy. Like, I fight people. I don't like, there's no martial art part of this for me. I like fighting people.
Yeah.
I've always liked fighting. I just enjoy the act of fighting. I happen to be good at it and they pay me for it. Like, so a lot of people have this like, oh, you let me down. You disappointed me as a martial artist. I'm like, that's a personal problem.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I got mad. I'm sorry. Like, we've all been mad about shit. Like, get over it.
Why UFC fans and, well, not just UFC, but all mixed martial arts fans, why are they like that? Why?
Because there's this weird, because so I think it's like, I kind of blame the UFC for this because like I can kind of pinpoint what happened. And I think, remember back in the day in the John McCain era, and it was like the human cockfighting thing. So they went a long way into like trying to make the sport like, oh, we're martial artists. Like that was the
to make it more mainstream and to get it more publicized. Right.
That was the way out of the human cockfighting era. So we had like the GSPs and everything who were like got their gi and they're talking about the discipline aspect of it. And like, cool, we got out of that era. But you guys didn't realize, like, I had this talk the other day. There's a big difference between fighters and martial artists. And like, I've never really considered myself a martial artist because like, I'm not gonna go home and sit under a waterfall and meditate. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna go to practice. I'm gonna bust my ass in practice. Then I'm gonna go home and like play video games or do whatever. There's no like spiritual journey in this for me. Like, I just like fighting.
Did you fight a lot growing up as a kid? Were you in a lot of street fights?
It's so funny now because everyone he's into it now.
Oh, no, he's into it. He loves the fights. You love the fights, don't you?
He loves it. No, it's funny because everyone I grew up with is like, yeah, like if somebody was gonna be a fighter, it'd be me. Because like as a young kid, I got suspended so many times for fighting. I always loved fighting. Like I was always that weird kid on the playground when people were like started playing football and everything. I still wanted to like play Power Rangers and Street Fighter. I've always just wanted to fight. Like as like 18, 19, I had blonde hair on a skateboard, riding around, hoping someone said something to me so I could start a fight. I've always just liked fighting.
And were you good at fighting back then before any kind of training?
I got better.
Yeah.
Like, I got better.
Yeah.
It's actually like I started like really like working on it because I I did like karate and taekwondo and stuff when I was younger. And you come to find out that shit doesn't really work the way you think it does.
No.
Because I got beat up like every day by like this
and
kid.
especially when you brag that you can do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you like younger than me. Like I remember like started like in 7th grade. This kid Raphael, and I think this guy failed like twice. He's already way older than me, but he boxed, and we became like mortal enemies in 7th grade over a girl who like I don't even know what was going on. She's just a friend, but this girl, because my friendship with this girl got me beat up like twice a week. Every day from 7th grade, and I try to fight this guy and he kicked my ass every day. And finally, I'm just like, I give up. Karate's not working. Like, why is this not working?
Yeah.
So then that's I got introduced to boxing, and then from there it's all just downhill to where like I love this. And out of high school, and kind of just hanging out doing nothing, and then the guy I worked for found an MMA gym, and I went there, and I haven't looked back since.
So has it changed now, though, a little bit, Chris? Would you consider yourself maybe more of a martial artist than what you were? Because you're fighting in the biggest organization in the world, so you have to be a mixed martial artist. So you are a martial artist.
Yeah, so mixed martial arts by definition. It's my
definition.
job. Like I've learned different martial arts. But I feel like there are people who are martial artists. Look at people like Jiri, who's just like a murderer and a martial artist. You got guys like Wonder Boy, who's like a hardcore martial artist.
Yeah.
Like it means something different to them than it does for me. And then like, you know, I'm really good friends with Strickland, who's like the last guy who'll ever call martial artist because he's just barely a human at that.
Now, that's so funny. And I just love that guy. And I've seen a lot of his antics and that's him, right?
Yeah, it's just how he acts. And that's the stuff you guys see is like the kinder, gentler Sean Strickland for social media because he's aware now that like if he keeps saying crazy shit, they'll like ruin his career.
Right.
So he's gotten smarter about stuff he says, but like you should see the group text. Like, oh my god,
right? I can imagine some funky looking photos going through the group texts.
It's the best time ever was when Kamzat and Till were in town, so they were in the group chat. So now you've got Sean, Kamzat, and Darren Till in the same group chat, and it's just
listen, get me in on that group chat one of these days.
It was absolutely banana sandwich. Like it's the weirdest time ever, but it's just it was fun group. But you got guys, I think being a martial artist is different. Like I've never claimed to be a martial artist. Like I do martial arts, but I'm not a martial artist, if that makes sense. I'm definitely more along the line of prize fighter than martial artist.
You remind me a little bit of Daniel Rodriguez said the same kind of thing, D-Rod, last week or the week before that he just loves fighting.
Yeah, there's nothing spiritual about this for me. Like there are people who talk about like the inner growth and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you guys watch Karate Kid way too many times and you've never gotten over that. Like, nah, man. I'm like, I'm Tung Po from Kickboxer, bro. Like, I'm not like, I'm not here to like, go on a journey and like meditate and do my mountain thing. Like, nah, man, I don't need a vision quest. I just like fighting.
So what about mindset? Do you believe in having a positive mindset and visualizing and stuff like that? Or are you like, nah, just get in there and punch on?
I think everyone has to have a positive mindset, especially like in fighting, because there's so many like, what was it? The rule of thirds is like, you'll have all your training, you'll have like one day that's good, one day that's bad, then one day it's okay. You just accept it as like, okay, that's how it goes. So you kind of have to have a good mindset because this is the one thing to where training will make you miserable if you're not positive about it and accept that like things happen.
And like what just happened to you?
Yeah, fighting. So for me, there's no one harder on me than me. Like I've always been really hard on myself, especially just because like the amount of time I put into this and like the sacrifice. So losing is one thing. Like I've lost before. I've lost 9 times now, and like I can accept losing. I hate feeling like. It's more so like, had I gotten knocked out or stopped or just beat up, I'd be fine. But to walk out of a fight feeling I didn't get to fight, like untouched, fine, it's just frustrating. To you're just like.
Have you watched it back yet?
I finally watched it back, and I just made myself even more angry. I'm like, God damn it! It's just funny because like in the moment, like it's never. Like, it's weird with people. Like, people who haven't fought. It's like there's such a weird disconnect between like being in the moment and then watching it back because you're watching yourself. You're like, oh, what am I doing? Like,
Really?
why?
It feels a lot different.
It's so different because when you're in the moment, you're worried about so many things happening.
And everything else is blocked out. Like cameras are blocked out, crowds blocked out, everything's blocked out. You're just in that moment with your opponent, right?
Yeah, and like because your mind's moving 1,000 miles per minute. And you're trying like for me especially like looking back on it, I can see where things I didn't do what I wanted to do, but I can also see by like how I'm moving and the things I'm doing. Like I can see the thought process I had. And I understand why I made these mistakes, and it sucks because in hindsight's 2020. You're like, but I know exactly like where the mistakes were in the thought process. It kills you.
So is it kind of like? Do you like say to yourself, "Come on, you should have done this," or you should have? Are you like yelling at yourself?
You're such an idiot. I'm glad I like live by myself because like I'm like an idiot, like sitting there like coaching myself through a fight that happened that I know the outcome of. I'm just like, all right, I look stupid right now.
Dude, that's hilarious. Like I always wonder what it would be like to watch yourself fighting on TV, and I think it would either be
You're always disappointed. Yeah,
even if you win,
you're always disappointed. You'll do cool shit. You'll be like, all right, like cool, I knocked him out, but I got hit here, like whatever. Like you're forever disappointed with yourself, and people who aren't probably shouldn't be in this sport.
Is that one of those things that you've got to be tough about? Like you were telling me that you were lost, frustrated. Gee, what about Alec when Alex Pereira beat your man?
Yeah, it's
how did he get over that? Was that a?
I mean, Sean's one of those guys to where he accept like I don't care who you are, you lose, especially like on TV. Like, it stings. It definitely stings, especially because like you either have it comes back to the fans too, which is funny because you have fans that support you, fans that switch on you immediately, are people who would never say anything when you succeed, but will come out of the woodwork to like try to talk shit about you when you mess up. And I'm just like,
fellow athletes.
Oh no, dude! I've never had an athlete. So here's the funny thing: is like fans will attack you. You suck, blah blah blah. I've never had another fighter be like anything bad. They're just like, I get why you were so pissed off.
Yeah.
But like it's so funny. Like I think the harshest thing I had, it was like Aljamain Sterling was like, you seriously should have fought 3 rounds like you did the third. And like you waited too long, and I'm just like, okay, like you know what? I respect that because you've done something I haven't done. You picked up a belt, that's fine. But it's just funny when people who've never done anything worth talking about their entire life,
biggest experts.
I'm like, people are like, oh, like fake accounts will come talk to you, blah blah blah. I'm like, sir, you have a fake Instagram account. Like, what are we arguing about right now?
And what's the point of it anyway? What is the point?
Yes, it's. So I since realized it's mostly people who have never accomplished anything. Like what's happening is the fact that, and I tell people all the time, here's the thing, man. Like I may have lost, cool, it happens. I've lost before, it's whatever. But you watched me lose. You're talking about it now. The fact you came onto my page to talk about this. No one has ever come to you to talk about any of your achievements or your failures. Like,
it's a good way of looking at it.
You'll remain unknown. I tell people you'll die nameless. It's fine. Like, don't be mad at me because like you gave up on like whatever it is you wanted to do in life or whatever. So you're sitting at a job you hate, probably like pissed off. So your thing is like you find somebody else who has a bad moment. You're like, we're going to jump on him because he's doing what he loves and he messed up. I'm like, it's cool, whatever. I'm still going to do it again.
Yeah.
And the next time I fight, you talk all this shit, but you'll still be watching me. I'll never see anything about you in my entire life.
Yeah.
And one guy talks so much shit. I was like, look, not to be mean, bro, but you could die tomorrow and no one outside your family would know. No one would care. Mm-hmm. Like that's like remember that. Like you're coming. If I died tomorrow, you probably talk shit on me still. But you're talking about me. Am I the mindset now to where, I don't care what you're saying. As long as you're talking about me, I'm happy. It's fine.
And the thing is, with those type of people, that what they don't understand is they will never amount to any kind of success while they are hating on other people. Successful people don't hate.
I've never been torn down by somebody doing better than me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's the opposite. You get inspired, right?
So it's weird, man. Because like I actually kind of had like a short weird beef with Chael Sonnen like right after this happened because I was like,
yeah, I saw what he said.
Yeah, I was like letting people get to me and everything.
Yeah.
And Chael Sonnen like sends me a message on Twitter. He's like, "This is my phone number. Text me." So I text Chael Sonnen and like after I realized I was wrong, and like. People, oh man, like that dude really just like, it's like 3 a.m. He's just talking to me like about everything, about like facts, everything like that.
That's cool, man.
And for me, that was a big thing for Chael Sonnen's like, bro, like I have failed in my career. He even said he fought in 2002 and came up short. and like went through this, but he's like, life goes on. People have short memories.
Yep.
The moment you win, half the people talking about you go away, and then it's whatever. So like that was actually really, really helpful.
Yeah.
So now like, I occasionally just like randomly text Chael Sonnen with stuff. Like when I got ranked, I text him a picture of it, and he's like, remember these moments. These are the big things. So.
17th, right?
Yeah, 15.
15th now.
Yep. So
Nice.
that's been a really cool thing, and like there's a lot of good has come out of this. So there's some frustration and whatnot, but I'm ranked. I've got a great contract.
Yeah.
Like, I got to talk to Chael Sonnen. I text Chael Sonnen, and
Yeah.
like life is good right now.
It's like win or learn, right?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm gonna fail, I tell people all the time, I have failed a lot in life, but I'm very good at failing forward.
Yeah.
Like it's a skill I have, man.
Yeah,
it's my special power, the fortunate son. When I fail, I tend to fail forward, so it's really nice.
The O2, was it everything that you imagined it to be?
Madison Square Garden was like the coolest moment of my career, and then the O2 beat that.
Really?
Because like I literally had every person in there singing, like fucking cheering.
So they never played your song. Did you know that?
Yeah, I didn't know they didn't show it.
Yep, they didn't show your song. And
guys,
because I remember we discussed it, and I was like, "What are you gonna come out to? Are you gonna come out to what Darren Till comes out? Or what are you gonna? So what did you come out to?
So I came out to Sweet Caroline, and how many people were in there? Like at the O2, how many people was it?
There easily had to be about 22,000 in there.
Every person on their feet singing was one of the coolest moments of my entire life.
And are you devastated they never got that?
It's fine because everyone there was there. It's just that it's cool. Like, in honest to God, bro, the English fans are like my favorite fans ever. Like they are freaking insane, and like they will fight for you. And like even after that fight, I didn't have a single fan in the building come up to me like, oh, blah, blah, blah. They're all like, nah, man, you fucking came, you showed up, you tried to make it a fight. Like, they were like so supportive. Even now on like my social media, they're the most supportive group of people. They're like, you're a fucking Englishman now, blah, blah, blah. They're the most support. Like, I'll have people come on my page and talk shit. And before I can even reply or block or whatever, the English fans jump them. I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here, you wanker. I'm like, you guys are freaking amazing.
And so did you, I saw that you were hanging out with Molly Meatball afterwards, and she was absolutely, I mean, God bless her. She looks like she's just living every single moment of this experience.
I love Molly McCann. Like, I shit you, I didn't sleep that night because I was like so pissed off. So I'm sitting around, I go to breakfast at like 7 a.m. And like, mind you, I didn't go upstairs until like probably 3 or 4, and Molly's still drinking, partying, celebrating. So I'm there at 7, like getting food. She comes like stumbling downstairs, like she's very clearly drunk still, like just
with a bottle of whiskey in her hand.
No, she's just drunk down there, and she sits down, and I'm like, "How are you alive right now, Molly?" And she's just laughing, talking, like she's worked her ass off and she's enjoying it. So like now,
and what a win!
Crazy,
crazy
night. Yeah.
2 spinning elbows. Who does that?
She's earned it, man. So I'm like sitting there talking to Molly at 7 a.m. I'm like, I'm gonna go get you some water and orange juice because I'm worried about your health now. And she's like, oh, Scousers, blah blah blah. I guess they're invincible. I'm like, okay, like she's just she's a hilarious human being. So I absolutely love Molly.
So you're a fan of Patty and Molly?
Yeah. So I've always like, Patty is weird to me. Like I don't dislike Patty at all. It's just like I'm starting to realize like why people like him as much as they do. He's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy. He's an interesting character to me. But the thing about Patty that like kind of like threw me off was I ran into him for the first time really on weigh-in day, and I didn't know who he was. He doesn't look like Patty Pimblett when he's like on weight.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this guy? I'm like,
he's skinny, right? He's very skinny.
He looks like Ringo.
Yeah.
Like Ringo Starr. Like, yeah. So I'm like, I'm looking at him, I'm like, who the hell is this? And then, yeah, like he looks like Ringo. He's like so drawn out. Like he looks like fucking Ringo. It's crazy. And he's dying clearly, but he's still he's an upbeat guy. He's laughing, like making jokes. So I'm like, I like you, but your health scares me.
Yeah. I mean, the way that he fluctuates in his weight, that can't be healthy, right? But he obviously does it well with that weight cut.
How old is he?
I think he's like 25.
Dude, when I was like early 20s, I used to weigh, I used to get up to like, after a fight, I'd be like 214.
Yeah.
Fighting at 170. Like it's stuff you do when you're young. Like he's pretty extreme about it, but like, yeah, I mean.
Do you think the UFC manufactures these fighters because of their personality? Like, is he getting a little bit more push because of his antics and what he does?
Well, most definitely, because I mean, like he can fight, but like if we're being honest, like, we've seen people who do like fight better.
Yeah.
But he's got a good personality. He's a fun dude.
Yeah.
And the UFC is always looking to expand their European market, right? So like what I mean, that's like he's the face he's the face for the European like division for UFC, like him and Molly. And like, that's people like, oh, it's not fair. And like, yeah, okay, cool, it's manufactured, but at the same time, you understand it's a business.
Yeah.
And the kids fight, for like whatever deficiencies people say, the kid fights his ass off.
Yeah.
He's entertaining.
Yeah.
So he's young in his career. He'll get better. So, like the UFC will definitely, any organization will push the athletes that they think are going to have a market for him.
Yeah.
But it's not like he's not fighting his ass off. Like,
Yeah.
against the top of the division, you don't really know how it's going to go yet. Because like he's got that like punch and die mentality. It's like, we're going to go out here and just swing and like let something happen. So against like the top guys, you're always kind of scared when you see those guys like, oh my God, how's that going to go?
Yeah.
But for now, he's out here fighting his ass off, man. So like, why not?
They're comparing him. They're saying that he's going to be the new Conor McGregor. But I really don't believe he's at that level yet. I mean, he's loved by the English fans, but I think it's a bad comparison.
I always hate they're going to be the new Conor thing. I think it's unfair to him to say that because, like, now, anytime you're like, oh, I get, like, for him, it's a compliment. But, like, also, look from the outside looking in, you're like, oh, he's a new Conor McGregor. Well, now his expectations are way more inflated than where he's at right now. And so you're just like, so if he has any a misstep along the way, like, oh, he's a bum, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I think let him mature at his own rate. Like, if they want to push him, cool, but like, let him mature at his own rate. Don't put this like narrative behind it that he may or may not live up to. Like, let him be his own guy.
Who's the guy that he's got the beef with?
Ilya.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh.
What's his name? Ilya.
Yeah, I don't even remember. Tapora.
Tapora.
Oh.
Now that's the fight I want to see.
And they'll never make that fight.
Okay, will they make Terrence McKinney and Paddy Pimblett? Little young Terrence McKinney is doing real well.
I saw them, like, people were talking about that. I don't think they will right now because Terrence is a really marketable guy. Like, he's a fun guy to watch.
Yep.
All this, like, he's really got great fights, like knockout guys, just eccentric personality. Unless they really need to build one of them, like, why would you? I don't see why they'd put two prospects.
Yeah, that they can
like put them on opposite sides of the bracket, let them go up.
This comes down to the matchmakers, right? They got to think of all this shit.
And they do. Like, I'm pretty like if people realize like, oh, go fight this guy. I'm like, guys, like the matchmakers, I'm pretty sure have like a fucking UFC chessboard on a wall.
Yeah.
Where they're moving pieces.
Yeah.
Because like, why ruin one of your prospects?
Right.
Like,
anyone insights for you? Like, or I mean, I know everyone says, when are you coming back? You could go in right now, right?
So
you injured?
I go. Well, technically yes, but like not bad. I popped my shoulder out on Wednesday, but it's fine. They were asking about really, really soon, but like, I'm just like
December?
Even before. So actually talking about September actually.
Wow, really?
But, and normally I would say yes, but I've got like next week I'm in Canada for a week. I got people I'm cornering. And then I'm gonna go home and see my boy for the first time like a year. So like,
and how old's he now?
15. I'll be 15 in October.
So in a year, you're gonna see a massive difference.
Oh no! So his mom called me. His mom's one of my best friends too. She called me the other day laughing because I started school Wednesday. So she called me like Monday, hit his last little checkup, and she's like, "All right, well, he's 6'2", 200 pounds."
What? Hang on a minute. What?
So I've got about a pound on him, maybe 2 pounds on him. He's got 4 inches on me.
Is he into martial arts?
No, he boxed a little bit when he was younger, did some wrestling stuff, but he's a smart kid. He wants to build things, wants to be an engineer.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, man, like I get it, but I'm like, I was letting him do what he wants, but I kind of want to like push him into football. Like, bro, you could like just be a lineman, just stand there and push the guy in front of you.
You're gonna freak when you see him in person, are you? You just be like, what?
Every time I see him, he's jumped up so hard. But now at 6'2", I'm like, oh, okay. Well,
yeah. He's in Canada, did you say?
No. I'm going to Canada before that. He's in Ohio. No, so it's just funny because like he's always been little. I'm Big Chris. He's Little Chris, and now he's like
Yeah.
Now he said he's supposed to be Chris, and they can refer to me as Old Chris.
Old Chris.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh.
Or Short Chris.
I'm like, oh yeah. Like, he pegged me as Old Chris. I was like, ooh, like you are getting a little like a little
now,
big there.
Does he tell everybody that his dad's in the UFC?
So it's funny because
and not to fuck with him.
he's had people like not believe him, so he FaceTimed me at school. Like, will you tell them? I'm like, hi. And he's like, oh yeah. So He's been around it since, my first fight was when he was like 2 weeks old, my first amateur fight. So he's been around his entire life. So he's like less impressed about it than like anybody else is. He's like, whatever, it's fine. Like I could win a fight, but how'd I do? He's like, yeah, you did all right. Like, he's like, he critiques me now. I'm like, all right, like go somewhere. But he doesn't care at all. He's so disinterested in it. He's so used to it.
Yeah, I you know what? I haven't been blessed to have any children. I've got my dogs, my animals, but I would love to have one to continue the legacy. I reckon to be, especially if he's 6'2" and 200 pounds.
Yeah, God, yeah, yeah.
So your shoulder, how did you do that?
Oh, just wrestling. I freaking dislocated my shoulder, so it's just I popped it back in, so it's fine. It's just a little sore right now, but today I worked out all day and everything. It's just sore.
Dude, I want to give you something, and this is the next generation in sports recovery.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard of this before?
I heard you do the intro, and I'm like, okay.
Well, you know cryotherapy.
Well, yeah.
It's Heather Linden was telling me how great it is for athletes. Heather Linden up at the PI.
Okay.
But this is a rapid relief spray, and it's plant powered with CBD. I've used this religiously for the last year on my injuries, and without it, I can't fucking function. So I want you to try a couple of these out.
Because I was listening to the intro, and I'm like, all right, cool. And like plant powered. I'm like, so now I'm like, are we doing CBD or opium was the question.
Yeah.
Well, like, all right. They said plant-based. I was like, this is CBD or opium. So
opium would be better, but unfortunately, you can't put that in there because people try to drink it.
Of course they do.
So listen, there's the cream as well. The cream's not as invasive as the spray, but I promise you will get some amazing benefits out of it, and you'll love it. And
dude, that's great then, because I could barely sleep last night because I'm like laying on one side. I'm like got a square pillow trying to do it. So that'll be really nice.
So try the spray.
That'll guys.
Hey Ian.
Get that
there
on
we go.
There we go. Pay these bills.
There we go. That's it.
Well, I look forward to checking this out, though. Seriously.
Yeah. I'm looking forward for you to try it and let me know, because I suffered a broken neck a couple of years ago.
How the hell did you break your neck?
I was looking for my weed on top of the fridge, and I jumped off the counter and landed on my heels and shattered 2 discs. Had to get surgery.
Oh, you're serious?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got a titanium plate. I got a titanium plate and 8 screws in my neck.
Wait, so you jumped off a counter.
Excited that I found the weed. Yay! I jumped up in the air, landed on my heels, and just cracked and broke everything.
Most expensive weed you've ever had, all right?
Mate, what's wrong with me?
Wow, that's insane.
So I've been in chronic pain for years, and this is the best stuff I've ever tried. That with physical therapy has been awesome. So do you party? Do you go out, or is it restaurants? Video games? Yeah,
I'm such a homebody because so young me realized young me was really stupid, and we had that phase. As I've gotten older, I just realized that people are terrible.
Yep.
And
that's why I hang around these guys.
Yeah,
mate.
right. Yeah, dude, I'm a guy. I'll gladly go home. I will watch movies. I'll write. I'll play games. Whatever. I'll try being in Vegas. It's not bad though, because being in Vegas, this place can be really hard for people with a party lifestyle.
Yep.
So for me, I'm happy. Every now and then, on a weekend, I'll go to Fremont Street. I'll people watch, watch everybody do stuff.
Yeah.
I'll go the casinos, walk around, go eat, maybe play some roulette or whatnot.
Yeah. Do you go to shows like Cirque du Soleil? And you done that yet?
No, man. I've been here for 3 years. Yeah, I think I've seen maybe a show. I don't. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, Fremont Street's a crazy place. I don't know if you saw a viral video that I shot of a buddy of mine dressed as Michael Jackson.
So I ran past him the other day. I was walking up Fremont last week, and I saw him. I was like, "Oh yeah, it's Michael." It's fighting Michael Jackson guy. Yeah.
You said that to him?
No. I didn't know his temperament, and I'm just you know what? I don't want to even get into a scuff with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, imagine the footage that would be. Imagine the views that one would get.
People already find a reason to be mad at me. Now you're fighting Michael Jackson. I go, oh my god.
Mate, I had everyone reach out to that. The London Post, TMZ. Everyone's like, can we use the thing? It went viral pretty quickly.
Oh, hell yeah. He triangled by Michael Jackson.
But yeah, no, Las Vegas is a pretty crazy place. I've been living here since 2002.
Oh, man. See, I've been here for since 2019. I'll never leave. I love this place.
You buy a house out here?
I'm looking at houses now. The market's weird right now. So I'm okay, we'll just keep putting up. We got a lot of money put up.
Yeah.
So I'm just okay, we'll put, try to put another 50 grand in the savings for house fund, and then just have a massive down payment and, get
so your payments are lower.
Yeah. So we're just we'll put another 50 grand in there and just wait for the market to change a little bit. And then bam, I want to get a property.
Are you single?
Yeah, I'm just hanging out by myself right now, hanging around, talking, kind of entering a relationship, something new.
Tinder?
There. Like, yeah. No, we gotta stay away from Tinder. Tinder has ended badly on multiple occasions.
Oh, really?
Oh, God. You don't.
Oh, man, see, all my friends have had really good experiences on it. Tinder came in just as I got into my relationship. So about 8 years ago when I started with my fiance, that's when Tinder came. I would have been a maniac if Tinder was around in my day.
So Tinder has only like ever caused me trouble through my adult life, like for various reasons.
Someone, you hear a knock at the door, you open it, and it's like, "Hi, is Chris here?"
No, not even that, man. I just end up like, I have a bad habit of dating really crazy women.
Yeah.
So I'll date crazy women, and then I'll be mad, like, oh, these crazy women, and then I'll find a really good woman, and then I'm like, oh man, she's not crazy enough. So I go back to like dating Puerto Rican strippers, and I'm just like, oh, like then wondering like why my life is all fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? So I'm trying to make
Get
better.
out of that spearmint rhino, brother. What are you doing?
Dude, which it's not even. Oh my! I've made so. There are so many like legendary stories about like my stupidity with women, and like at the end of the day, it just ends up costing me so much time and money. So like we're like being smarter about our choices.
What are you, 35?
Yeah.
So you're in your horny years right now.
Oh, it's so bad. Everybody's
Your
like
perverted horny years at that.
so what's worse is I've always been bad, but now I've got money. So now I'm like, oh, I can afford to make even more mistakes.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I could hop on this plane and fly. I'm like, you know what? Don't do that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
It's good that you can have a little chat with yourself. You've got the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other.
Bro, because I've lost so much money.
I know, bro.
Like, oh my God, I've lost so like my. No one's more upset with me than like my manager, like,
Lance.
Oh my dude, you don't understand. Like I put Lance through so much in my failures and like humanity, like, as like a human, and like Lance is always there to like pull me out of the fire, and he's just like, and plus Lance does my taxes too, so it's just like, oh my God, like
Big shout out to Lance
Yeah,
from
like,
Iridium
yeah,
Lance from Iridium Sports Management. We're sorry that Chris has put all this strain on you, but he's in the horny years. Right?
Oh, dude, he's like oh man, Lance has seen me fail miserably, and like he's always looked at like the money I spent failing miserably. He's like, we got to be better.
Yeah.
So Lance has been the homie. He's there, and we're doing better now.
Yeah, I mean, everyone at Iridium's great. I love Jason
Yeah.
House, and I was just so happy for Brandon Moreno to pull off
that's
that victory with that
freaking awesome.
that front kick that just exploded the liver there on Kaikia, France. What a great fight!
I'm
that
telling you,
was.
nobody was more happy than freaking like Jason, man. Like, that dude,
and he's such
like,
an emotional guy too, and I just love Jason House. I really do.
It's funny because me and Jason have like we previously butted heads a lot because
Really?
I'm a very emotional. Like I guess everybody's like, oh, of course you are, blah blah blah. Yeah, so you fuck off. But it's who I am. All right, I'm a very emotional dude. I wear my heart on my
You
sleeve
cry?
a lot.
Are you a crier?
No, I will punch shit. Young me was very, very like young me. I was a crier as a kid. Oh God, like my mom's always like. I remember she always makes fun of me. She's like, "Honey, I Shrunk the Kids." Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember when the aunt died. I started like bawling my eyes out, and then I cried on Predator. Like at the end, I thought everyone was dead as a kid. So like Predator made me bawl my eyes out. I'm thinking about their families. Like nobody's going home. My mom's just like, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
But so now at this point, like I'm like violently angry.
Are you?
Like yeah, but not normally. But like when I get like, here's the thing. Like I tend to be a very calm person. But like once I get past, like once I get going, like it's like you have to let the meltdown happen. I can be way too emotional, and like Jason is an emotional guy too. He cares a lot, so this causes friction with me because like once I'm angry, I can't like it's hard to like tell me like you're being an idiot.
Yep.
So like
Yep.
now I'm going off, and like Jason's trying to like be an adult, and now I'm getting mad at him. So then he's like, oh, so he immediately becomes like he's an emotional guy too.
Yep.
So now we're butting heads. Then we don't want to talk to each other. Then he called me back like we're being stupid. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. So it's funny, like, you know, this last like year and a half, I've gotten like I kind of understand Jason better, and I understand that like, you know, like he really cares.
No, he does.
No, he really does care. Like he cares more than like people give him credit for. He really does. He loses sleep about this shit. So
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot closer with Jason to where like, I understand that like, okay, we're both just very hot-blooded people, and we care a lot. Like we're very whatever. So now I get it. So we're way cooler now than we ever have been.
I mean, I've had so many of the Iridium fighters sitting across from me like this with Jason House. I had Elliot the barber's been in here a few times as well, my man Elliot, and everyone's just been great. I mean, Did you see that the video of Max Holloway this morning?
No, I've been at the gym since like 9.
The video of Max Holloway in the Top Gun fighter jet hitting 10 Gs.
Nah, fuck that. Nope.
Nah, is that a fear of yours?
So here's a funny thing. I wanted to be a pilot. Actually, I wanted to be a fighter pilot growing up, but it turns out I've got really bad eyesight and I suck at math. So it's just really,
that helps. Yeah,
just yeah. I was like, yeah, 2 things you needed. Like, yeah. And on top of that, to insult to injury, I get incredibly motion sick easily.
Right.
Like I'm a guy like
on boats and shit like that.
Oh, dude. So
you can watch a boat movie and get sick.
Like I'm the guy like in jiu-jitsu practice, you do like forward rolls and back rolls, and I'm like violently dizzy. And I realized that I can't go on water because like one day Sean Strickland's bothering me like, bro, come paddleboarding. So I finally go to San Diego and go paddleboarding in like the bay with him, which is like the choppiest water ever. I talked to his brother later, Lawrence, and Lawrence is like, why the hell would you take him to the bay to like paddleboard? It's like rough. So I'm out there paddleboarding with Sean, like getting dizzy, about to fall off this boat. Like I'm like sick, like die. He's like, never seen somebody get sick paddleboarding. I was like, I told you this.
That's so funny.
He's always like, oh, come on my boat. I'm like, no, bro. Like,
yeah.
You know, I can't even ride in the passenger seat and like look at a phone because I'll get dizzy in like 5 minutes. So never meant to be a fighter pilot. So like, you know, option 2 was fighting people.
Yeah, I wanted to be a paranormal investigator, but I'm shit scared of ghosts.
Really?
So that one, yeah, man. I'm obsessed with life after death, the other side, heaven and hell. What happens to the spirit once the physical is ended? I'm obsessed with it to a point of where I dream about it, and where I really research it as much as I can. And I've just found out so many interesting facts. Did you know that when you die, you actually know that you're dead because the brain still shows functional activity for 10 minutes after the heart has stopped?
Yeah, what is that? Like, yeah, it's just like electrical impulses, but they're just like, why is it firing? It shouldn't be firing.
It shouldn't be firing with no blood going to the brain.
There's no input either.
Right.
Because like, there's no blood, and there's no input. Like, why would there be electrical like activity still? Like,
So why? I want to know, why is that? Where it, like, you know, after losing my father recently, I'm like, where is he right now? Where does he know that I'm wondering where he is? Right? Is he just a ball of energy? Is he wandering around waiting for my mum to go? Like I'm borderline obsessed over this.
No, I get it. I've thought about it before, and I'm always hoping that like it's not like conscious after death, because I'm like, I don't want the people that like in my life observing the dumb shit that I do. Like just, I can imagine the disappointment. Like, oh my god, like this guy, like what the fuck's he doing?
What is he watching?
Yeah. God, oh man. I think about that sometimes too. I'm like, do my friends see the dumb shit I'm doing right now?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Making bad decisions. You're all just looking at me like.
Yeah. Do you believe that you're going to go somewhere after this physical is done? Like, obviously, energy never ever dies. It just transforms.
Yeah.
We are basically energy and water. Do you believe that you go somewhere?
We're fucking made out of stardust, aren't we? Like,
Yeah.
You know, it's was it law of conservation of energy? Like, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's weird because you know that the particles and molecules that make up you go somewhere.
Yeah.
Just don't know what. So like, is that, like, I mean, I try, as bad as this sounds, I've thought about it and I decided not to care.
Yeah.
Because for me, I think the biggest thing is I've always had a problem living in the moment. I'm so bad at living in the moment. I've always thinking about like the past or what comes next.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to care, because if we do go somewhere, cool, it's going to be fun to find out, unless there's a heaven and a hell. And like, man, like one of my bigger fears that like is like,
going to hell.
Is like biblical, like the biblical thing is like real. I'm like, man, I am like,
well, have you read the book of Revelations lately?
Yeah, not lately, but like not my like regular like pickup. Yeah, we've gone over it, but like, yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Well, if you read a lot of the prophesized events that are in that book, a lot of it is happening as we speak, my friend. It's very bizarre.
I think like history is circular anyway.
Yeah,
so like, you know, it all comes back around anyway.
Yeah.
So it's fine. I'm just like, man, I really hope I don't have to be like at church like every Sunday in order to get into heaven.
I don't think it's about that. I think it's about what's in your heart.
I bank on like, look, I'm a dick and I can be shitty, but I actively try to do more good, like, you know, less harm than good. Like I actively try to like to help people, to do things.
Yeah.
And it's like I try to do that in like in a selfless way as possible. So I'm like, if I die knowing that I left a better imprint in my life, if that doesn't get me to heaven, well, fuck it. Like all right, well, like all right.
Have you dealt with a lot of death in your life?
Oh God, so much. Like I remember my mom used to say, she's like, you've been to way more funerals than somebody your age like needs to be. Like you've lost a lot. Shit, I just had two teammates from back home pass away in the last 2 weeks. Ronnie Jordan, younger than me, pancreatic cancer, and then my guy Chris the Gun, passed away in his sleep. He's only he couldn't have barely 40, like something like that. That was 2 in the last 2 weeks. So it's especially like with fighting, you have such a big network of friends that like you see a lot of people go. Like my boy Landon Steele, Dom Steele's brother, passed away. We're younger. That was really rough. Chris Smith, a really good teammate of mine, passed away. He's like a brother to me. He passed away a few years ago. My buddy Terrence Johnson is he's pretty much was my little brother. Passed away in a car accident like 6 years ago. I had numerous aunts, uncles. One of the women that raised me, my buddy Reese, his mom passed away when I was 18. I mean, I can probably about 20, 30 funerals I've been to. So it's rough. Like, yeah.
I suppose the hardest part about that is the shock factor and the belief of that it's actually over. Like, that's been the hardest thing for me to grasp. Like, fuck, like sometimes I'll still forget that my dad's dead.
Yeah. And it's so weird because there are just, it's less dramatic. There's certain things to where, like, for me, Terrence is like one of my closest, like he's in my closest friend group. Like, we're all still really good friends. We talk every day. And there are times to where like, say like a movie will be coming out. We'd be like, fuck, Terrence would love this. And then you have to stop and think like, yeah, shit, man. Like, like fucking like Elden Ring, when Elden Ring, the game came out, like big thing. And we were like, this is the game Terrence would have like, this would have been his life. Yeah. But like, he's gone. So that's he's like, there's so many moments that you'll never get to have that you. And
I suppose when they say your memory will always live on, and that's what they mean by that, because your name is constantly brought up in situations like that. Oh, that's interesting to know, man. Yeah, I've fucking been dealing with a fair bit of it myself lately, and I was just curious to get someone else's point of view.
It hurts, man, but it gets better.
It does get better, yeah.
It hurts. It never stops hurting, but it goes from that like hurt to kind of like. Once you get to the bittersweet memory phase, like that's where it's livable. Like the hurts is bad, but like eventually it becomes that bittersweet memory phase, and like that's when it becomes when you can live with it. Yeah.
Booze? Are you a boozer? Are you a beer drinker? Are you a whiskey drinker?
Man, so I.
When it always starts off with a laugh, there's something coming there.
No, I am a. So here's the fun thing. Like I get made fun of because I'm not a beer guy. Like I never really got into beer. I think I drank way too much beer in high school and it ruined it for me. God, I remember the time of the drinking incident that ruined beer for me. So now I'm kind of like I'm a vodka tequila guy because like I'm like people laugh like big as I am. I'm a margarita Moscow Mule guy. And like, but now like, I've lately, like when I don't drink a lot, when I do drink, I've kind of migrated over to like Jack and Cokes and like whiskey sours or like, so like, yeah. So I will drink, but I can't be like I'm not going to drink like straight like bourbon. I haven't reached that point in my life yet. Like, yeah.
Well, one of my proudest achievements is being affiliated with one of the top whiskey brands in the world, the finest, the tastiest liquid gold on the planet, straight out of Dublin 12, proper number 12 Irish whiskey. Now, have you tried this, Chris?
I did actually. So Jason House had a party, and we were getting drunk. And I saw that, and I was like, "Can I drink this?" And he's like, "Yes." So I actually drank that with Jason House.
Yeah, ask Jason House who gave him that whiskey.
Was that your?
Of course it was.
It all comes full circle.
It all comes full circle. Well, Connor dropped this whiskey brand, and it's just killed it all over the world. And I've been very fortunate to be able to gift all my guests that come onto the show with these bottles because I know you took your time out of your day, and I really do appreciate it. So this is the part of the show which I like to call the passing of the propper. Mr. Chris Curtis, there's your own bottle of proper. Oh, look at the way he accepted it as well. Did you see that?
Nightly, like, yeah. Like, guys, came that way. Check it out. Oh, that's awesome. There it is. All right, I'm like over here, wrong place. That is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man, no worries. So make sure you now if you mix the Proper 12 and the Tidal Sports Spray together, that pain will be gone when you go to.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna sleep good tonight. I'm gonna get like I'm like a whiskey sour.
Yeah,
and,
nice. Or even a whiskey.
myself.
And you know what actually is really good? It's what's called a proper blitz, which is heaps of ice and Fanta. And a nice big chunk, or orange soda, and a nice big chunk of orange in there with ice. Beautiful, you love it. It's called the Proper Blitz.
Wow, so like you caught me off guard with the Fanta. I'm gonna do it now.
Yeah,
Like shit,
yeah.
I'll never have a reason to turn down Fanta.
It sounds tasty, right?
Yeah,
A proper
yeah.
Blitz, refreshing. Big chunks of ice, Proper 12 Irish whiskey, orange soda, and a big juicy chunk of orange in the top of it.
Dude, I'm so down because like I don't even drink that much, but like lately, like as I've like had like more income, I've started becoming like amateur bartender. So like, I'm like just making shit, like Googling recipes, like having people try it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like I'm gonna do this tonight.
Great. You're not going to upgrade the Hyundai though, are you?
So man, so I left the Hyundai Club because it died Sunday.
Your Hyundai died on Sunday, so you left the club.
It died on Sunday, which was my fault because it was already dying because I apparently had like a cracked head gasket.
Right,
I
that'll
didn't
do
know.
it.
Yeah, yep, that'll do it. So it finally died on Sunday. So I was gonna buy. Oh man, this is funny because I was gonna be like, you know what? I've got the money now. I've never had something cool. I was gonna buy like a classic car. I was gonna buy a '66 Chevy Corvair. Ooh. It's a beautiful car I've always wanted. I was like, I'm gonna get it. Yeah. So I'm looking at it, like, yeah, I can afford it. It's cool. And then like the more I think about people talking to me, I'm like, I don't know shit about cars. Like you can't just drive this thing around. It's a '66. You can't. It's not a daily driver. I don't know shit about fixing cars or like restoring cars. So I'm like excited. Everybody's killing it for me. Like, bro, like you struggle doing basic maintenance. I'm like, yeah, I do.
Yeah. You've got a really good ability at talking yourself out of shit. Do you think living alone has got something to do with that?
You've had to.
Hey, you want a coffee? Yeah, I'll have one.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, fuck. Like, yeah, I don't know shit about fixing cars. So I'm like, I don't know how to do anything. So I ended up getting a freaking Chevy Volt, like a hybrid.
Oh, yeah.
But because I don't drive more than like 30 miles a day.
Yeah.
And it's got like a 45-mile range in the battery. So I'm like, fuck you, I don't need gas anymore. Like I can charge at the PI too. So I don't need to use my own electricity to charge the car. I was going to the PI in the morning and plug it in. So like, So I beat that. My insurance is lower.
Yeah.
So
Nice. It's nice having a brand new car.
Yeah, it's great. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So I probably will buy the Corvair after the next fight.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, okay, I'll put the money aside for it. So I'll do that next fight. But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to drive around a '66 car and have no idea how to take care of it.
Yeah, and especially with an old car like that, it's going to need maintenance.
Like, once again, Lance is like, what are you doing?
Yeah, right.
So, hilariously, Lance and Sean Strickland talked me out of this.
Sean Strickland talked you out of
Sean's like, you don't know shit about cars. I'm like, yeah, I don't.
Wow.
I really don't.
You got to have good friends like that. What do you drive, Ian?
I actually have an old 1976 Fiat Spider, which is remodeled and everything. It's kind of fun. But that's not my daily driver, though.
Yeah, see, like, so I've got the Volt as a daily driver. Next fight, we'll have my fun car. I'm going to get the 66. I'm going to learn how to take care of a car the hard way. I'm going to, like, take care of it or restore it, or it's going to explode and kill me. But, like, I'm going to try.
Ian, have you been to the O2 Arena in London?
I have not actually ever been to the O2, but I know it's an epic venue, and you're speaking about British fans being fanatical, and they really are. They truly are one of a kind.
Why is that, Ian? Why do you think that is?
You know, I'm not even sure, actually. I think we like just to get behind. We like to get behind people, you know. We really want to kind of lift them up. And when they're up there, we want to crush them down again. But, you know.
Yeah. Of course you like getting behind people, mate. That's what you do, Ian.
Hey.
Actually, you know what? I had tickets to see Michael Jackson. This is actually me and MJ back in 2006. I had tickets to the O2 Arena to go see Michael, where he was going to do 50 concerts, but unfortunately, 2 weeks before the show was supposed to start, old mate left us.
Can I hold this up real quick?
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you guys know this. It's like, a really weird habit of mine. But does he not look like Adam Hunter, the comedian? Like, does he not? Like, I want Adam Hunter to see this. Like, bro, like, you look like Adam Hunter. Like, yeah, like, it's... I thought it was Adam Hunter when I saw this. You know, it's me. I was like, holy shit. Like, yeah.
All
so
right.
I need him to see that.
Okay, I'm going to tag Adam in that clip.
I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Jump back on that mic.
Yeah, that was me. I was like, oh shit, I thought it was Adam Hunter. Like, all right.
But that was a cool experience, man. Who's the most famous person you've ever met?
Holy shit. I don't keep I don't know. Like,
I mean, that'd be the most famous person alive.
well, that's like Michael Jackson. You could really hold that up to anyone's encounter. Like, oh, I met The Rock. I met Michael Jackson. You're like, all right, you win that one.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I think I wish my memory was better, but like the head.
Now, is that
trauma
from
a
weed
thing.
or is it from the head trauma that you forget?
I don't smoke.
Oh, really?
I don't. Yeah, I've I smoked in high school and it ruined me. Like I got really sick, so I just never started smoking again. I don't know, man. I can only assume getting hit in the head for 25 years has had some issues that have come up.
Right.
And then I've never had a great memory anyway, so I guess it's all just been compounding. So
Yeah,
man.
like literally that podcast that you and I shot on the Zoom, I've completely forgot it. Did you?
Yeah, I have no idea what we talked about. Nothing.
Did you know it was me that you were coming to see today?
Yeah, they said well, it's funny because like I knew it was you, but everyone else like so I'm not even sure we shot that podcast. Because I think that we may have like jumped dimensions on some Joe Rogan shit. Because I've had like because Ed and Lance, even like Jason, like, oh yeah, you'll like Marcus, blah blah blah. I'm like, guys, we've like talked, but no one else remembers that we did this. So I'm like, did we actually do it? And then it's corrupted. I'm like, bro, there's no proof that we actually did. We may be in different timelines.
I believe that.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, because no one else remembers this. And I was like, I remember it. You remember? I'm like, fuck, maybe like we.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what I did. I didn't have something plugged in and you could hear you, but you couldn't hear me at all. So I was like, fuck it, I got to scrap it. Same thing happened with Adrian Yanez. But anyway.
I'd like to point out that wasn't here.
No, no. That's what I said. From home, my home studio in a Zoom, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen here. You pay good money, you get good product, right, Ian? No mistakes ever here at my show.
Right.
Well, now he's saying like, oh, you can hear me, but not you. So I'm like, maybe I'm just talking to like a random recording by myself. Like he wasn't even on there.
Yeah,
I'm just hallucinating.
Yeah. I was a hologram.
Yeah, now I'm concerned. Okay.
Stop eating those mushrooms, mate.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So let's just really quickly. I want to talk about Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards this weekend. Who have you got? I mean, obviously, it's a great fight. They both haven't lost since they fought each other last.
I have to go Usman because of, I mean, like his work rate has been insane. Yeah. Like you've kind of lapped the division. I think he's just had like double the fights as Edwards since that fight. Yep. Like he's just
he has.
Yeah, he's had double the fights since then. So like that experience matters, man. Especially you've got double the experience as the champion. Yep. And like, I know like Leon's like fucking great, man. Dude's so good. He's so talented. But you have I've had double since we fought. I beat you once, and I've doubled your experience as the reigning champion. Yeah, that's hard to bet against. Yeah, it is. It really is. But I'm looking forward. Do you like Kamaru Usman? Yeah, I've met him a few times. He's always been great to me. People like fucking hate him. I think he's a nice dude. He's quiet, but like he's super. Like he's easy to talk to. He's an intense dude. He's a very intense dude, but he's never been like a dick or anything. Always nice. Like always like offers his insight. Like I like him. Have you ever met anyone from the UFC that got you a bit starstruck, or a bit like, oh shit, I got to meet him, or I got Aldo. Oh, Jose Aldo. Really? Like for me, that was one of just one of the people. Yeah, man. Coming up. Love that guy. So like just Jose Aldo. And then I met Boss Rutan once, actually, when I was at PFL, I believe. Yeah. And that was big for me because holy shit, Boss Rutan. Like I had Hulk Hogan reply to a text of a tweet of mine. And that blew me away. Dude, what is he doing now? I don't know, man. He's old now. And I think everyone's old, yeah. Like I know. I'm 52 next week. Are you? Oh, you're great for 52 with a broken neck. Yeah, broken neck. Yeah, it's way to go. Holy shit! I'm just saying, you're moving good for a 52-year-old man with a broken neck. I know, right? Pretty phenomenal. Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Paulo Costa, Luke. But yeah, hello guys. Oh man, my sponsors are going to love you today. So between Luke Rockhold and Paulo Costa, who's your favorite? Who are you picking? It's a hard one, eh? So, I think so I'm gonna get shit for this. I think Luke Rockhold is the better fighter by far, well, the better martial artist. Yeah. But I think I think it's at this point he's he's had his chin cracked a few times. Mm-hmm. Like everyone loses their ability as you get older, man. Like he's been in some like interesting wars. Yeah. He had the Vitor Belfort debacle where you get TRT kicked in the face. Yeah. Which is I think his durability was never the greatest, but it's just as he got older, he doesn't take damage as well. And do you think the more you get chin checked, the easier it is to chin check you? Oh hell yeah! Is that how it is? Really? Hell yeah! Like So even now, like I've only knocked out like once in my career, but I've taken like some shots in sparring to where I was like, And here's the thing about that. I'll tell people as well. It's not just so much about getting knocked out. Think about it this way: when you're in those wars and in those battles, and you get like really hurt, like cracked hard, if it doesn't knock you out, it kind of like puts a drop in your fear bucket.
Oh.
To where you're like, there have been times you get like hit hard enough to where, okay, it didn't knock me out, but you've learned pain. And like it's hard to explain.
No, I can sort of understand it. From not being a fighter, I can the way you're explaining it.
In a fight, usually don't get like people don't realize in a fights don't usually hurt until like something goes horribly wrong. And you're like, oh shit, pain.
Yeah.
Adrenaline masks a lot of that. But when you're in wars and you've been like cracked and like the guy didn't knock you out, but he hurt you, like in the back of your head, you never lose like, ooh, that's different. And I think Luke's been in a lot of situations to where like that pain bucket has gotten more and more full to where it makes you hesitant. It makes you not as willing to pull the trigger or take a risk or engage because you're like, holy shit, I've been hurt before.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that
again.
Right.
Luke Rockhold's been his personality this fight week has been very
I love it.
You like
He reminds me of Old Man Logan. He's just like grizzled. He doesn't care. He's just really mad. He's just like snapping at people. Yeah. I love Old Man Luke. I'm like, I want Old Man Luke to win.
Yeah, I mean, look, Old Man Luke snapping at the reporters and
the full send guys.
The full send guys. I was like, fuck, I'm so glad that I wasn't there.
Old Man Luke is hilarious. I felt bad for the full send guy. I was like, bro, you didn't wake up knowing this would happen today.
Yeah.
And like, Old Man Luke just doesn't care.
No,
so, like,
and it's got to be scary. I remember when I got Mike Tyson to sign my boxing glove there, and he's like, what do you want me to write? I was like, oh, can you just write to Marcus? And he goes, how do you spell that? I said, Marcus from Mike, Mike. And he looked at me and he's like, you smart ass. And he grabbed me around the neck and shook me around. It was a really, really awesome experience.
That's actually the answer. Most famous person I met was Mike Tyson.
Oh,
I got to PFL actually. I got to hang out at Mike Tyson's ranch.
Wow.
So they're like I did his podcast when I was watching PFL. And I thought I was going to go and do his podcast and leave. So I ended up being at Mike Tyson's ranch for like 9 hours.
That's unbelievable. And you didn't smoke?
No, he's got like garbage. He's got like Ziploc bags full of weed. So it's me, Rashad Evans, and Sean O'Connell were there. I mean, and I'm the only me and Sean don't smoke, but like Rashad Evans was gone.
That's a fucking reality show right there.
Obviously, I woke up on the couch. I was there for so long. I went to sleep. I woke up. Mike Tyson brings in like a bunch of vegan pizzas. And I'm just like, what is happening? This is the weirdest day of my life, but it's great.
That's so awesome. Yeah, what an life experience.
Great. Oh, it's so great.
Yeah, no, Mike's a great guy. What we like to do here at the podcast is I like to get my guests to give maybe an inspirational word, quote, sentence, or saying to someone out there that may need some fire under their ass, that may need a little bit of a push in life to get their shit together. What could you say that could maybe give someone some inspiration? Jump on that mic, man.
For me, actually, it's actually fairly easy because it's more so to do with fear and like not I think a lot of people don't do things because of fear. Like fear ruins everyone. It's the fear. It's not even the fear. It's the fear of failure. Because like even with fighting, I tell people all the time, like, oh, in London, one of the hotel clerks, he's a fight fan. He's like asked me, he's like, hey, I have a question for you. How do you deal with like the fear of like, are you afraid when you fight? You're like, hell yeah, you're afraid when you fight. He's like, well, like how do you deal with fear? Like what do you do? Even he's like, like in life, like just when you're afraid of something. And it's weird because for me, it's before every fight, I recite a quote from a movie that means the world to me. And like I always repost it. I got a couple teammates doing it. But do you remember that movie with Liam Neeson, The Gray? Like The Gray, like when he's out there fighting the wolves.
Yes. Yes.
So in that movie, one of the underlying things was a poem that his father wrote in the movie. So once more into the fray, into the last good fight I'll ever know. Live and die on this day. Live and die on this day. And for me, I saw that movie like when it came out, and it stuck with me since then. Because that poem is absolutely perfect. Because you're going to be afraid. Like fear is a part of everything. Like like to quote a bad Will Smith movie, like danger. Danger is real. Like danger happens. Fear is a choice. Like yes, shit can be dangerous, but you have a choice on how much you have to fear. So that poem to me represents like, hey man, it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to not know. but know that you have to live in this moment.
Yeah.
And no matter what happens, you can be afraid, you can be unsure, but live in this moment now. Like this is, you may never have this moment again. So live in this moment.
See, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to accumulate all the quotes I've got from all these fighters, and I'm going to make it into a positivity book because, the advice that these guys give is literally something that everyone should grasp hold of and listen to, because these guys are such an elite, fucking small group of men and women that are in a extraordinary sport and lifestyle, harder than anything else on earth. And they give these quotes. So listen to what they say.
I'll send you that. Like,
I would love that. Yeah. There's your first tattoo.
Yeah, I got one, but there's some other. I want to get a Wendigo.
A Wendigo. That's the beast that kind of looks like
the cannibal Native American spirit. Yeah. I want to get a Wendigo. I want to get a Valkyrie and a Wendigo.
Yeah, I want to get the Sasquatch. You know, the one where she's looked like from the famous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want to get a Wendigo on an arm. I want to get a Valkyrie on my back. Like I always say, like, if we're going to as far as religions go, like the Norse had it figured out, man. Like you fight, you die violently, they support you. You get to go fight in the afterlife. That's what I wanted. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it will happen. Any sponsors you want to plug?
No, I don't know. Like, yeah.
Any particular sponsors that you want? Maybe that Monster Energy one might be good, right?
Yeah, right. Like, look, I would gladly. I want a Monster sponsorship. I drink Monster. Like, come on, guys. Like, I will gladly drink. Who do I talk to about that?
Maybe call what's his name? Hank Mollenkamp.
Oh, Hans, yeah. Hans, help me out, man. Top 15 now. Hans, top 15, help me out. Come on.
There you go. Hey, listen, man, I'm so glad that you got to come in today because I was really looking forward to it. And Ed Cap told me I was going to have a great time, and I did. So I just want to say thanks very much for coming on.
I appreciate it, man. I really do. I got to get, have fun talks. I get whiskey and... you
get the title spray.
Yeah, we'll call it my this is my recovery kit. Yeah,
the recovery kit.
There we go. Like,
there you go. Well, thanks very much for coming on, brother.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it a lot, brother. I really do. Thanks very much, guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure that you either listen to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts is another great one, or if you want to watch the experience in my beautiful studio here, then just jump onto YouTube. I'm trying to plug that channel. Don't forget, today's episode was sponsored by Manscaped. 20% off on all your order. Marcus D is the promo code. And today's episode was in memory of my beautiful, fantastic friend of 29 years, Scott Murphy, who just left us last week. I fucking love you, brother, so much. And, you don't know how much I hate saying this. Rest in peace, my man. I love you. Thanks, guys, so much for listening and being a part of my journey. We got so much more to come. This is Marcus Deegan for the Marcus Deegan Show, a proper podcast. See you later, mate. The Marcus Deegan Show.